Ordinarily, I would answer the questions of this quiz using Google Forms, but I'm now going to show everyone how I create a Microsoft Word-based answer sheet. So I'm going to go to my home screen.
Calendar, Thursday, September 15th.
And I'm going to rotor down to my dock.
Cap C.
But I'm not at the right rotor. So I'm going to change my rotor settings
Speech rate.
using the up and right arrow keys.
Containers.
And now I can rotor down to my dock.
Dock. Messages.
And I'm going to arrow right until I get to Word.
Double tap to open.
And now I can activate Word because I found it.
Okay, now that we've opened Word, you can see we have a lot of documents in our Recent folder. But Isabel, which folder do we want to get to so that we can open up a blank document?
The folder with the new option.
All right, well first you have to find a good starting point. So what do you do for that?
I'd like to start at account settings.
Okay, and how will you get there?
I will control
Account
up.
settings. Button.
Let's see, that takes us right to the top left where our account settings button is. And then what?
And then I'm going to arrow right one time to get to the new
button.
option.
Very good.
And now I'm going to activate
Selected.
it.
New.
All right, now you need to be on the right side of the menu. Right now we're on the left side. So how are we going to do that quickly and efficiently?
I'm going to rotor down.
Blank document.
Okay, and which rotor setting was that?
That was on containers.
All right, so go ahead and open up our blank document.
Okay.
Page 1 content. Text field.
All right,
Editing.
and now
Insertion
we are
point
ready to type.
When we opened up the blank document, QuickNav had already been turned off, so I typed in the name and the heading for the document. But now I'm going to show you how I number the Microsoft Word-based answer sheet.
All right, why don't you give us 2 new lines?
New line. New line.
Okay.
And let's do a 1 period space.
All right. One period space.
Oh, now what just happened?
Automatic numbering.
And how do you feel about automatic numbering?
It's a very large inconvenience for me because Voiceover, when I scroll through my answers, it never tells me what number I'm on.
Okay, so why don't we just delete that off and we'll number it the way you like to do it.
All right. I'm going to do one period,
One.
enter.
So you hit enter instead of space and then it doesn't indent and do the automatic numbering.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, and so now what do?
Now I do two period space.
And then you...
And then I go back up to
period.
1. And so now it allows me to type in the answers the way they're supposed to be.
Okay, now that we have your answer sheet the way you like it, why don't you show everyone how you scroll between apps using Command Tab?
Alright, well I have my thumb on Command, and I have my another finger on Tab.
Practice spelling. Safari.
Okay, and that's taking you to the top of the Google Forms quiz.
Yes.
So how will you get from the top to the first question quickly?
I will use headings.
All right, so let's make sure we're on headings.
Headings.
Alright.
Good, and now you can just rotor down once,
One mission.
and
Heading
it takes
level
you to the
List
first
start.
question.
Right.
And then you can Command Tab back to Microsoft Word
Word on left.
and
Page one
type
code.
in
Quick nav
that
on. Word.
word.
Cap off. Yes. N.
So will you enter or arrow down to the next line?
I'm going to arrow down to the next line because I already have it numbered.
Okay, go ahead.
2 period.
All right, and now you will Command Tab back to Google
Safari.
Forms.
Safari on right. Practice spelling.
Okay,
Safari.
and unfortunately this is a glitch with VoiceOver and Google Forms. When you go back to Google Forms, VoiceOver takes you back to the top instead of leaving you where you were, which I believe we were on mission.
Yes, we were.
So all you're going to do now is just rotor down using headings to number 2. So
One
go
mission.
down
Two vision.
and
Heading
down,
level 2.
and there you go. And you can Command Tab
Word.
back to Word.
Word on left. Page 1 content.
Okay,
Text.
now
Quick nav
fortunately
on.
Word doesn't have this glitch. It takes us right back where we left off, so you can type
Cap V.
vision.
I. S. I. O. N.
I'm going to type
New
enter.
line. Vision.
3 period space. And I'm
Safari.
Command tabbing back to Google
Safari on right.
Forms.
Practice spelling. Safari.
And I'm going
mission.
to rotor
Two
down
vision.
using
Heading level 2.
headings
3
to
fissure.
get to the
Heading
next
level 2.
question, which is fissure.
Word. Word on left. Page 1 quick nav off. Word.
And I'm going now
Cap F.
to type
Yes.
in
U. R. E.
the next word. Alright, we went ahead and we've filled out the answer sheet. So be sure to check out our next video where we show you how we can save, retitle, and share a document.